Hello everybody, welcome back to a brand new video. We just hit 24.3 thousand subscribers. Can we get to 25K by the end of the month? Please subscribe down below and like this video before we get started. But today we're going to be doing Donald Trump versus Elizabeth Warren, an updated January prediction. Does it look like she'll be the nominee at the moment? No, but she's been in a lot of fights with Bernie Sanders. They're really going at it together. Could it sink Bernie's campaign? Could it sink her campaign? Because after the first four primaries, we're going to have a two-way race between Joe Biden and one of these far-left socialist-light Democrats. So we're going to exactly see what's going to happen in the electoral map. Will Donald Trump be able to beat her? Probably. Pocahontas doesn't really stand a chance. I think Trump is going to wallop her, and I'll show you exactly why and how in this map below. Donald Trump is going to win all of these safe red states that are traditionally safe. You've got your Mormon belt, you've got your Plains Belt, you've got the Bible Belt, you've got the Sun Belt in the South. The safe red states in the Sun Belt in the South, you have Indiana, you have Nebraska. I think the 2nd district would go to Trump by a likely margin. The Bernie Bro Dem in the midterm election lost significantly in Nebraska 2nd district. So I do think that that will go to Trump by a likely margin because Warren's policies are too far left. She won't be honest of how she's going to pay for it. She's like, I'm not going to raise taxes, but evades the questions. We exactly know how it's going to work. She's going to raise taxes. I've looked at the brackets on all income brackets. The Warren-Bernie plans raise taxes. I think a lot of people will keep their private health care. I don't think that they're going to be opting in for this money on government-run health care. It's just me. It's the American way. It's the American spirit. There's a reason why we're the only country in the world that has risen above the governmental control of everything. But that's beside the point. Moving forward, I do think that Donald Trump is going to win Ohio safe with Warren. I think he will win Iowa likely with Warren. I think he will win those states. Texas likely, if not safe. Georgia with Warren likely. Arizona with Warren. I think Arizona is going to go likely with Warren, and North Carolina will go likely. Florida will go lean. People talk about palatability of a candidate. Elizabeth Warren is very unpalatable for a candidate. She and her diehard fans will complain about her being a woman as why she's not palatable. I hate to break it to her, but that's not the reason why. She's actually less palatable than Hillary Clinton. She's less palatable than some of the most unpalatable candidates of all time. It has nothing to do with the way that she looks or that she's a woman. It just has to do with her shrill voice, just basically her policies, complaining, pandering to young people, pandering, acting like she's a normal person. But when her husband walks in the room, she's like, oh, I'm glad you could be here. That's not the way normal people act, okay? So Warren's going to take the safe blue states, but Rhode Island is likely. Connecticut is safe, but Rhode Island is likely because of Chafee. I think Chafee will be the nominee. It's not going to be Vermin Supreme. I think Lincoln Chafee will be the Libertarian nominee. He's going to do well enough to screw Warren over. Warren will beat Trump in Rhode Island something like 48-40. So that's why it's likely margin. Trump did extremely well in making gains in Rhode Island. I think he will continue to make gains in Rhode Island and the Northeast as a whole. The state of New Jersey, I think, will be closer because it is very suburban. I think Trump has a lot of room for improvement with his policies. Same thing with Delaware. Maryland and D.C., safe. So Trump's approval doing well, and all the likely states already added in. Donald Trump is ahead of Elizabeth Warren significantly in this map. Forgot about New York there, and Maine's 1st district, we'll put that actually as likely too, because there is a trend there as well. It's very similar to the trend you saw in Rhode Island, and I think Chafee will screw over the Democrats in these places. Yes, he was a former Republican, but then he became a Democrat before becoming a Libertarian, so he's definitely not like Gary Johnson, where he actually ran for the Democrat nomination in 2016 and now running as a Libertarian, not like Johnson, who ran as a Republican in 2012 for the primary. He did become the Libertarian nominee later, but he might have screwed over Romney. He screwed over Trump according to internal polls. So I definitely think Chafee will pull 60-40 away from Trump because Trump has a more united fan base behind him. I get messages, I get comments all the time, I see comments online. I voted for Johnson, but I'm voting for Trump. I don't think a whole lot of people are going to vote for Johnson or Trump and then switch to Chafee. I'm not saying that there's entirely non-existent, but I think a lot of people are still with the president, and you're going to come see that come election day, whether they are enthusiastic supporters of him or not. A lot of the populace is not exactly politically active at the moment. Democrats never really stopped When Republicans start and you have a full turnout election, Trump will be spending money, campaign ads, got the funding advantage. He will ultimately destroy Elizabeth Warren on a lot of issues, and he is going to take all these states. The state of Virginia will go to Warren anyways. It will tilt to Warren. I think it'll be less than 2%. There's been polling showing Trump actually beating Warren in Virginia, but I don't trust that polling either. Colorado, I could see being lean for Warren. And Oregon, likely. Washington, safe. California, obviously safe. And Hawaii. And it seems like when this map fills in, this is roughly what it's going to be looking like when it comes down to 1 a.m. and the map hasn't completely filled in. But I do think Wisconsin will be one of those states that'll be called for Trump. Pennsylvania, those will go to Trump in the lean column. Michigan might tilt. Minnesota might tilt as well to the president. A lot of Native American Democrats there. Not going to be enthused to vote for the fake Indian. I think that they would probably not turn out. I think a lot of the Native American tribes up in the Dakotas and Minnesota are very left-leaning, but there are several Native American tribes across Oklahoma, the Carolinas, Tennessee area that are significantly Republican and support Trump 100%. Some tribes up in the Montana area that do as well. So Native American voting is a very unique pattern. But when it comes down to it, it does seem like the president could make gains with them, or Warren will have lower turnout among Native American populations. This will bring us to the great state of New Mexico, a state where Trump would have gotten closer in had Gary not been in the race. But this time around, I think Trump will pull it off because the Native Americans, a lot of Hispanics there have a connection with the Native American community, are not going to be enthused. And Trump goes there. He makes an outreach. He gets 50% of his rally attendees in the state of New Mexico are Latino. His policies have worked best for them. They've seen the most job growth since he's taken over. He has all these policies to tout. And the anti-Trump vehement foaming at the mouth people are roughly 50% of the population or less there, probably much less, probably in the mid to low 40s. That means he's got a lot of room for improvement. Trump will almost certainly win the popular vote against Elizabeth Warren. He will pick off the state of New Mexico. He will pick off the state of Nevada in the lean column because all of it is suburbs. Trump will do better in the suburbs. Chafee will screw over Elizabeth Warren, unlike last time where they screwed over Trump. And Trump will continue to run and continue to gain on his electoral victories here, but he'll also pick off Maine at large and New Hampshire in the lean column, states that he could flip with very little effort because one big rally there will attract 20,000 people. And that's very huge because you've got all these people, Maine and New Hampshire, not very big states, but Trump certainly has a lot of room for improvement in these places. He's significantly going to try to win these places, and I think he's going to beat a candidate like Warren in them, who is extremely weak. When compared to Biden, you might see him lose the safe blue states by a safe margin, lose the Northeast by a lean to likely margin. Even though I still think he would win, I think he would do very well in the Rust Belt area against Biden, unlike popular belief. I think he would still do well. I think he'd win Arizona, Texas, and Georgia, but not by safe margins, at least in Georgia and Arizona. And I definitely think he would do, a little bit worse in North Carolina, Florida. Florida might still be lean, but that's beside the point. But Biden does have a low floor, so when it's all said and done, I could be very wrong. Again, these are just predictions. We date them here and out. And this is what happens if you vote. If you watch the video and you don't get energized and you just get complacent, there's no point in me making the video without telling you to get out to vote. So find a way to get registered to vote. I'll start dropping links in the description. It's very important that all Americans can get their voices heard. Even those who might not agree with me still should be able to have their voices heard in this constitutional republic that we live in. Remember, it's not a democracy, it's a constitutional republic, and I'm very glad about that, by the way, because it doesn't allow for the majority to infringe on minority rights, but that's a whole other thing that we have here. But it does seem like this map is plausible, and I do think Trump will win the popular vote, but you have to get out and vote. It's very important that you do. Otherwise, the video's meaningless. It means nothing. You make me look like a fool. So get registered, get out to vote. It's very important, as I've said before, so don't get complacent. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching the video. Please like this video, please comment down below, and hit the big red subscribe button, and hit the bell for notifications so you never miss another video. Follow me on social media, links in description, join the Discord, links in description, as well as joining the Patreon for exclusive content. We've got free merchandise, so make sure you do all that kind of stuff. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Red Eagle, out.